My name is Chris Carbonell, aka my code name is Bruce for Bruce Lee. I was named that when I first joined Guardian Angels 1979. I was 15, 16 years old. I did it for a couple of days. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't know what the organization was about. I left. I went back April 1980 and I never looked back. That's when I realized what I do makes a big difference. We've stopped a lot of crime. I put a lot of perps down. Back then in the 80s, a lot of gangs. And then I stopped for college. And people ask me, why do I still do this? Someone has to do it. People talks about, why is this going on? Why is this? I'm recruiting people. I need more members. My goal is to cover all of the New York City. Rock Curtis Lewa's goal is that too. But we need caring members. You don't have to be a fighter, because I personally train my members. I train them the knifing skills. I train them piquet tear shield, kung fu, arnis. And I was asked once, what do I feel when I put on this uniform, knowing that I'm risking my life? I look at them with a stern face and I tell them, and I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, I feel like a superhero. No superpowers, just a superhero because I care. And my people care, my members care, all the Guardian Angels. We have this motto, Dare to Care. Today, you're gonna see a live action of how we patrol the trains, the subways, the crime that's been going on in the platforms. Unfortunately, I have emphysema, early stage, and undiagnosed COPD. I have my oxygen tank here. I won't be able to go with them, but I'm still leading the team, motivating them, recruiting, basically training them in martial arts, everything. We are brothers and sisters. We don't get paid for this. We don't get any salary. We don't carry any weapons. We risk our lives to help others. And that's a misconception that some people have about the Guardian Angels. But we do this on our own accord because we care. This is the first commander.
Nice to meet you.
He'll be leading the team. You want to say a few words?
Yeah, just we're a great team. My goal is to recruit much as possible to expand, and we've been hearing crime's been just going up and up, and we want to do our best to deter the crimes.
My name is Arnold Salinas. I've been with Curtis Lewa for 46 years of my life. It's longer than most of you have been alive. We started out at a McDonald's when I was 15 years of age, just looking for a job, looking for something to do to support myself. I was in high school, and we formed a group called the Rock Brigade, where Curtis literally had us picking up garbage on the streets of the Bronx. That expanded to all 5 boroughs of New York. It was called the Rock Brigade. Our motto was, we work for a clean New York. We went out on February 13th, 1979 with the under the name Magnificent 13 Subway Patrol. The 13 being a very unlucky number. We were tempting the hand of fate. Everyone said, you guys are cute, but you're about as sharp as a bowling ball. If you think you're going to make a positive difference, you're all going to get killed. We weren't sanctioned by the police. We had no special powers, no privileges, no training. All we had was our goodwill and the leadership of Curtis Lewa. And we wanted to be sort of superheroes. Mind you, we were 16, 17, 18 years of age. We believed in what we were doing, and the 2 sets of people that we thought would definitely back us is A, the police, because we were helping them, and B, our own parents. Well, it didn't work out that way. The police didn't know who we were, and you have to remember, we didn't have YouTube and Facebook and the media. And yes, we did get a lot of ink, but again, it wasn't like it is today. We couldn't put the word out there for people to understand who we were. So here are gang members looking at us in red and white t-shirts with red berets, thinking, hey, we're another gang. And we're encroaching on their territory. So, needless to say, between February 13 for the next 3 or 4 months, I can sum it all up in one word: hell. We had fights every day trying to bring back what was safe ridership for decent people who would trying to get to and from work, to and from wherever they had to go. And the police didn't help us much. They would arrest us, they would harass us. They didn't know that our intentions were pure and that we would withstand the test of time. Well, 43 years later, and obviously now being called the Guardian Angels, we're still on those trains. We're still making a positive difference, not just for the people whom we serve, the citizens of New York and 44 other cities in the United States, but 138 chapters in 14 countries where good people have stood up and said, I want to do something against belligerence, against gangs, against drugs, against violence. And it's a tribute to Guardian Angels themselves. So not only are we helping the people we're helping out, but a lot of Guardian Angels. I have a Rolodex. Yes, Rolodex, I am dating myself. Of tons of Guardian Angels who are now law enforcement, military, social work, teachers, who have called me up and said, hey Arnold, I chose my career path because of the discipline I learned within the Guardian Angels. And that to me is a wealth of pride to know that we've made a positive difference in people.
I'm Curtis Sliwa, founder and president of the Guardian Angels. We're now in our 43rd year of service here in New York City. We're in 13 countries and 130 cities. So it's a global effort, but here the focus continues to be the attacks on the Asian community. Of late, especially affecting a community like Woodside, a lot of attacks on Filipinos. Is sort of sprinkled in with attacks that have occurred against Chinese and Koreans. So those are the big three Asian groups that have consistently been the victims of just horrific violent attacks. First the Chinese, second Koreans, and third Filipinos. And it's endless. There's been a 368% increase in attacks against all kinds of Asians in the city of New York since the lockdown of March of 2020. And we have been in the forefront of trying to prevent that and trying to teach the Asian community that they can't remain docile. They can't be dependent on the police. They have got to be vigilant. They have to be proactive. They got to learn to fight back, because that's one of the reasons they're being victimized by emotionally disturbed persons and people who are vilifying them. Is they're thought to be soft. They're thought as not being capable of defending themselves. And we know they can. And many of them just have to be taught, especially the elderly, the women, the children, the infirm, those who are most consistently the victims of those anti-Asian attacks. The crime in New York City continues to go up. 78% increase from last year. 368% increase in attacks against Asians. And the number one group of Asians attacked, Chinese. Number two, Korean. Number three, Filipino. So if you look at all the stories that have been reported, that's just the ones reported that we learn about. There are others that don't necessarily make it to a blog or don't make it to newsprint. Just incredible numbers of Asians who are being attacked, victimized, mostly by emotionally disturbed persons, but others who still have in their mindset that this coronavirus is a result of Asians carrying it, and then all of a sudden it's spreading to the rest of the population. All of it is nonsense.
Okay, that was the quick tour of how we patrol, how we hit the subways. We have codes which I cannot tell you on the show, but now that you see what we've done, how we do, I want you to put yourself in our situation. I want you to see how it is to patrol, to make a difference, to fight crime. We need that. We need more members like you. Once again, you want to join, you want to inquire, email me, bruceguardianangels@gmail.com. And I'd like to leave this last thought. I mentioned earlier that I feel like a superhero. I do mean it. I'm sick. I don't know how much time I have left. If it's limited, it doesn't matter. I will do this till my last dying breath because I have a belief. I'll leave this last thought with you. I have this belief. If I'm to risk my life for a total stranger, one day a total stranger will risk their lives for my son and those I love.